if you've ever seen a man's face melt, it might have just been what just happened to me back there. Dope!
I'm a part-time friend.
I don't keep score, I keep scoring. I don't keep score, I keep scoring.
Like, come on, dude. Someone test this man for steroid. There's got to be performance-enhancing drugs going on here, because this is an all-star performance. I don't know what more you and I could ask for as an audience member, but to know that this is only the beginning of a long, fruitful career, there's not much more that I could get excited for, and he's earned pretty much all the goodwill for the future. Hi, my name is Garrett. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. Today we are talking about Gene Dawson. Gene Dawson is somebody who I found back in February, possibly March, immediately from the second that I found it. The way that he just makes music, one, fantastic, interesting, creative, unlike anything else really going on in this space right now, which is a hard thing to do, and it's very much understated when you see somebody who is so damn creative, melding genres, kind of creating just his own style of music. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint what genre you would put a lot of his catalog, especially his previous album, Bad Sports, which really does meld and just tap into a lot of different sounds. And while he is dip diving and dodging through airwaves, through the audio spaces, the way that he visually represents his music within his music videos is where really the undeniability came from. And that's why, like, immediately once I got really just invested into his music, I had to make a video about it. Made a whole entire Do Not Sleep series, whether it's Bruise Boy, 90s green screen, anything off of Bad Sports, or just that whole project as a whole. It's chef's kiss, baby. Nothing much better than that. And going forward, this particular album, Pixel Bath, has been my most anticipated, probably of just in general of 2020. We've been waiting for it throughout the summer. There's been a lot of cool teases, and just watching the singles come out, everything's just been, again, amazing. Whether it's Power Freaks, Onward, you're just gonna find yourself with a bunch of great visuals, and we will be checking all those out throughout this full album listening. If this is the first time you have checked out this channel, please, I hope that today is the day that I do earn your subscription. I do appreciate it. Like this video if you do so. Dislike it if you don't. Let me know in the comment section below. Gene Dawson, though, this is pretty much, I think this is it. You know, if you're here right now checking out the Pixel Bath album, pretty much near release weekend or week, or in the early stages, you know, you're looking forward to this. I think the next time that we're gonna have a full project release coming from this guy, it's going to be just gangbusters, big leagues. This is still being put out through an independent label. The ideas, though, and like just the seemingly big budget, but like the concepts of a lot of what his music videos do compile about, you would look at them and be like, wow, there is like such a big supportive label behind him. And while I do think he has a solid team, the visionaries and like the ideas, they're so creative, but when you really boil them down, it's not like it's anything that flashy. Gene Dawson, let's check this out, because I'm excited. This is it. This is Pixel Bath. At first glance at this track listing, it looks like we do have 13 tracks, about 40 minutes in runtime. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles off of this thing. So it looks like we're getting 7 to 8 new tracks. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, my bad. But nevertheless, can't contain my excitement any further. So jumping into it, this is Pixel Bath by Gene Dawson. Track number 1, Devilish. Full-on music video for this thing. Let's jump right into this.
Like my dad done, when I lose my shit, say free.
Like that shot with the reflection, just God, chef's kiss every time, man. That was fucking dope, dude.
The shadow on the other side of the room don't blink. Big smack and tie, letting life be a bitch. I bet you get inside. Hit it by the flip a switch. I bet you crack a smile.
Like that fucking little alliteration, just the oh man, dude. and then the guitar, like the actual like drum kit coming in too, like the way he built that up, it was like almost hypnotizing. And then the visuals again with like this like sheep iconography, like very just like, I don't know, wolf versus sheep type of thing, like follower, you know, sheep baby, but he's being chased by one. So there's a lot of like imagery here, the way he just kind of is able to ride like that drum kit and that very simple riff of a guitar, unlike anything else, man.
Big man with a big heart doesn't go
Notice how there's like two different hair colors and stuff, and like the thing about Gene Dawson when you watch his visuals is like everything really feels like a crock pot, like of like visual effects, of sounds. Like everything feels really well marinated, and it's kind of like presented like a very well finished art piece. And to me, the different colors of hair signifies that like this song could have been finished in some essence or some version at one point in time where you're shooting this scene with the sheep running around and stuff, and then you can have another passage of time where you're still sitting on the song unreleased and shoot this scene where it's a different, you know, hairstyle or whatever. Maybe he dyed his hair. Like, I don't know. This is just me thinking. Like, it just feels like everything's very well plotted, and you're doing like pickup shots for a music video instead of just going outside of a convenience store or wherever, a park or something, and just doing one day of shooting. Like, there seems to be like this duration of time passing, but like the way that he sews these like shots together to like still provide like momentum. Like Gene really understands momentum in his music too, where it ramps up and pays off, and his songs are catchy, but they never feel too repetitive like in a lot of essences. But he knows when to bring back the hook or the fucking really well written like tempoed, like everything just has this right set of beats, but it's also sporadic at the same time. It's just like this crock pot of just beautiful, well executed ideas. And this is only the first track, ladies and gentlemen. Devilish, Gene Dawson. God damn. All right. Okay. Just casually swallowing a butterfly, my friend, or a moth. All right. That was Devilish, track number 1. That's one of his best music videos. They're all equally just that type of just piece of entertainment. Like, again, like it just comes together like this beautiful art project every time. And the understanding of, again, momentum, which is something that I don't think really gets cued in on music very much, but that's something that always existed in like the older styles of like classical rock, or like just rock in general. I feel like has a good emphasis on momentum sometimes. And like any Queen song or any Rolling Stone song, like you feel this like tempo building, and it's hard to sometimes capture that with a beat that loops multiple times. And that's not to say that hip hop needs to like completely incorporate momentum, but to see him incorporate hip hop into this like also kind of bass roots understanding of like older styles of music and like composition, that I think kind of really does give him an edge in songwriting. Is everything around it does feel well put together, very well, again, marinated. I'm going to stop saying crock pot, but you get what I'm saying by that. But Devilish, phew, beautiful work right there. Going forward, we are going to track number 2, which is Triple Double. I'm pretty sure that this features A$AP Rocky, and I remember in a Q&A over the summer, I saw him do one on Instagram, Gene, and he had mentioned A$AP Rocky being like a longtime friend, or like one of his first friends, and always had his back and whatnot. So to see where this is going to go, and to kind of see finally a full-on collaboration between the two, is something that, if you're like me, obviously saw that kind of little piece of tidbit where I was like, oh shit, you guys are homies. Like, I definitely want to see something out of you guys in the future, and we're finally getting it on his debut album. This is Pixel Bath, Triple Double. Let's get into it.
and upgrading my will. Yeah, that's how I feel for real. Yeah, now how does it feel for real?
That was dope because A$AP Rocky, I'm a huge fan of him. I honestly think At Long A$AP is a 10 out of 10, and a lot of his prior work, At Live, Long Live, or At Long Love, or Love Long, all his projects are great in their own right, but something about At Long A$AP just hits and just is a beautiful, beautiful work of art because you see him on so many different variations of music. All the stuff he does with Joe Fox is some of the coolest stuff on that project, and this kind of brings that out of him inherently just because of the different style of music, again, that Gene Dawson is continuously making, and the way that this is coming together. That collaboration is, and I can't wait for more in the future, I hope. Continuing forward, though, this song ain't over. Triple double, Gene Dawson, A$AP Rocky, let's go. So what's cool about that is, again, I'm going to give that call back to the At Long A$AP album where I felt like those songs were just a different type of songwriting and just fullness. That project feels very, very complete. One of A$AP Rocky's best, one of my favorites. 10 out of 10, like I said, that's really like a masterpiece level piece of work. But what you're seeing with that team up, especially where you see A$AP kind of come in at the end again, I think that was, again, a very full, well done, complete track, and to see them have this first collaboration that you probably would assume there could be more in the pipeline, and even a full project, or just like seeing what they can do and bounce off each other, just based off that being a little sample size. Taste test, I'm down, bring it on. Next track number 3, Shiner, Gene Dawson, Pixel Bath, let's go.
The sharks in the water, please, partner, watch your brother hanging on.
See, all these little buildups is what I mean when I say momentum, and that's something that you're going to hear a lot throughout this just reaction or review or first listen, and as well as just atmosphere, like the world that he is just kind of creating around with just sound sometimes is I don't know, it's wild. It's a pure talent that you can't really replicate, and you cannot just like understate it when you're sitting here listening to a project like this, only 3 tracks in. Just the heart, like the power and pain and like emphasis and just believability in this man's voice and his vocals and just the passion so far in this project. It's again one of those things where it's really unrivaled, and it's hard to like put a finger on it and like label it as something, again, genre wise, just creative wise. And when you see these visuals again, that we did just see with Devilish, and we will see with Bruise Boy or Starface in the future going forward on this project, that's just like, that's the bread and butter. That's the situations that you find yourself in with Gene Dawson that you're like, man, oh fucking man, there's hardly anything that can touch it in a lot of aspects. And if this is completely independent, and he owns a good portion of his masters, if not all 100% of his masters, like I can't see this not growing to be just a very, very, very organically passionate fan base that just wants to see this guy win. And when the world opens up and continues to be hopefully a normal place of living, we can all go to a Gene Dawson concert and experience this album live and really see what this man's capable of. Not only on stage, but just when the world can go back to just him openly just experiencing stuff with his fan base and just growing, etc. I'm excited. Just the future is bright as fuck. Going forward, though, we do have track number 4. Track number 4 is Dummy. This is Pixel Bath, Gene Dawson. Let's go.
I'm not gonna say.
Like, that was the most visceral ass intro to a song before you were even coming in with like a quote unquote verse or hook or whatever. Like, that was fun, man.
I mean, I only need my space.
Are those bongos? Someone tell me in the comment section below. We need more bongos in music and hip hop. Just in general, more bongos is better generally. I think that's a good rule of thumb to apply to all music. Every single track on this really has this, like, I mean, so far, especially the past two, if not three, they've had these like crazy visceral endings that kind of have these like very intense buildups or like just instrumental sounds that is either like a drum kit looping in the outskirts or like a vocal cord looping, like how we just heard with that like, this isn't a nightmare, I think they said, or whatever it was. But what that does is stitch this album very specifically in a way that like it wouldn't have come across if it was just song ending and then a new like idea coming across like very obtusely, which we get with songs or albums sometimes when like this again feels like an art project that has a very specific way of formulating its track list and very specific ways of bringing these ideas together as a cohesive unit. And I think next up what we do have is track number 5, which is Bruise Boy. This is probably one of the first music videos of his that I saw just in general, so I'm gonna pull that up and we're gonna watch the music video together. You can find a reaction of this in my Do Not Sleep on Gene Dawson video from this past March if you'd like to go check that out. But this is attached to this album and it's a fantastic song, so we are not going to be skipping this thing. And this is Bruise Boy by Gene Dawson, track number 5 on Pixel Bath official music video. Let's get into it. Like the compilation of these shots, the way they intercut with one another. You got the motorcycle, you got the flashiness, then you just got the crisp daytime shots in this like cool palm tree little jungle, if you will. This music video is just a class act, and if you find this when I did, and you are kind of just like, what the fuck? How is this so polished? How is this coming together so precisely? When you usually find a new artist or when you're stumbling upon someone's music, it isn't always this well done. When there's only there was Bad Sports, and I did end up eventually listening to that, but just as like a first impression, this video, Bruise Boy, it being like your first time just coming in interaction with an artist's music, and have him capitalize and grow and just continuously just build around that, like a beautiful, wonderful discography. It's just the reason why I love music so goddamn much. And Gene Dawson, such a fucking talent, man, such a talent. I shouted it out in the Don't Sleep video. I'm shouting it out again. That is a fly ass sweater. Nobody's rocking sweaters like that other than Gene Dawson. These like outros really do give you like a moment of digestion or like clarity, if you will, where you have a second to kind of like just take in just what the fuck you watched, if it's a music video, or what the fuck you just heard, as far as just the craziness that this project is. And I don't mean like in a bad way by any process at all. I just mean that like the way that this guy writes songs and the way that this guy formulates his music is very sporadic, and the way that it comes across and the way that it hits and the way that it just slaps you across the face is undeniable. And Bruise Boy, first song I ever heard, instant classic in my opinion. Just really well done. And to include this on the project kind of is a no-brainer. Even if it is kind of an older song, it makes perfect sense. This kind of probably was like the point of building where a lot of people started to take notice. If you weren't already on like the Bad Sports train, I would argue Bruise Boy was a great point to start, just like I did myself. Moving forward to track number 6, we got Pegasus. like that. Wah, 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 wah. Like you could call that an ad lib, you could call that whatever you want, but the way that like again he just formulates, whether it's in the beat, how in Bruise Boy you had that like wah 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 wah, like that same kind of like interruption, if you will, but layered within the beat, I think, or at least if that was like a vocal performance, it was definitely layered with a lot of effects. With this, it's like it's like he's bouncing off. It's like a fucking game of Pong, but he's both vocal like performance. He's both sides, and he's just playing both ends, just fiddling with it like perfectly though. Perfectly. Like you can overlayer a track, and the way that like his beats automatically have all these layers, and then he's able to like also layer his vocals to create like a very, very, very tight knit, well put together song, composition, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's just doing it over and over, kind of batting 100 right now. Bat 100.
I'm about to blow like Creed. They watch me in my sleep. A lot of Creed. A lot of blue.
He threw out the blocka, and then just fucking destroyed our faces. Like if you've ever seen a man's face melt, it might have just been what just happened to me back there. I'm gonna rewind that. We're gonna check that out again. That was unexpected. That was well done. One of my favorite switch ups of the year, guaranteed.
I'm about to block up.
You can sit with us.
Fucking mastermind, baby, mastermind. That was one of the craziest switch ups I've heard all year. You know, I'm just gonna say it, man. Like I say this a lot. I have a problem, but nobody's doing it like this, man. Nobody's doing it like this, and independent music and just the music space in general. All whether it's anything that I've been covering right now. There's just so many different facets and different types of music, all kind of under this hip hop bubble, if you will. I love it, man. I love it. Great time to be alive. Track number 7, Poster Child. Let's jump into it. I mean, if that's what you call an interlude, man, if that's your version of it, that's still a fucking dope ass concept of a song. Creativity just bleeding out of this thing. Pixel Bath. Definitely living up to the hype that I had in my head personally. I'm liking it, man. I'm really, really, really liking it. Track number 8, though. That was Poster Child, track number 7. This is track number 8. 06 Burst. 06 Burst. Let's jump into this.
Yo, it's fun. So check this.
All right, this is one of my favorite tracks on this thing. This is definitely a standout. 06 Burst coming in. Living up to his name. This is definitely just busting right now. What the fuck, man? And I'm going to go into the Genius website article for this album to make sure that there's no one else, because there's a lot of like extra vocals going on, and if this is all just him, like Jesus Christ, man, like he could switch up his voice in some crazy ways. But it almost sounded like there was someone else going in at the beginning, and there might have been someone else singing on the other tracks, but or at least one of the other tracks. But I don't care. Like this is just a cool ass medley of sounds, and it's just concocted in such a specific, well done, professional ass way. Gene Dawson, man. Gene Dawson.
Watch your mouth when you speak to me. I'm the new Black History.
Like, come on, dude. Someone test this man for steroids. So someone get him in a room and make sure that there's got to be performance enhancing drugs going on here, because this is an all-star performance. What the fuck am I listening to? It's Pixel Bath, baby. That's what. Boom, boom, boom. I don't keep score. I keep scoring. Sometimes it's the simple stuff, man, that hits so hard if you execute it properly. And execution is most definitely one of Gene Dawson's strong suits. That's undeniable. Pushing forward, that was 06 Burst. Probably my favorite track on this thing so far. Stand out for sure. God God damn. Next up, we do have Starface. This was one of the more like, oh, in my opinion, we're getting this album, Pixel Bath, sooner than later. One of the more recent singles off of this thing, Starface, with a little asterisk / star after it. Without further ado, we do have a music video for this. Let's check it on out. I really like how this is like, it feels very much like a ensemble piece. Like there's a lot more faces going on here. Sometimes it is just Gene Dawson doing his things. Other times bringing out the friends, bringing out the crew is not always a bad thing. And the idea is just kind of just continues to be really good pieces of imagery, really well executed ideas. The brain on this guy, man, I don't know who his team is, I don't know who he works with, but if this is all just coming from one man's brain, then we got something going on. There's a lot of talent just bubbling within this man, and I'm here for it. I'm a big fan. This is Starface, loving the music video. Let's go. Directed by Zach Madden. Let's give a fat shout out to that guy, because if he's involved with a lot of these music videos, god damn these visuals, man. Like, god damn, dude. Like, they're so meticulous and so well done, and just very like, I think like distinctly crafted, that I almost feel like I'm too dumb for some of them. Like I'm missing like a overarching like piece of imagery, like this beautiful like allegory for life, because they come across like these like perfectly done films a lot of the time that replicate or complement or like add to the audio track in so many different ways. And it's like every fucking time too, to where I just feel like I'm the dumb one, I'm missing something. But goddamn, Starface. Like, I'm smart enough to understand that there's biblical references here, but I feel like all I'm looking at is like, oh, there's a guy floating, over the house, isn't that cool? Like, I'm just a very simple man. I'm missing some point here. I got him. But I have faith that whatever he's trying to portray or do, it's just coming across if you're smart enough to understand. I'm just not. That was track number 9, Starface, with a music video. Perfect. Track number 10 is Policia. This came out over the summer. I think it was one of the singles. This came out at the perfect time, and had a lot to say about the society that we're currently living in, and Gene Dawson's take on it, and just the timing of this, I think, was well needed for a lot of people. And this is a powerful track. Policia, track number 10. There's like some ties to Mexico, I think, in his culture. So like him speaking Spanish, it actually has roots to his upbringing. And man, it's cool to kind of see that also kind of be implemented into his music making and songwriting. Implementing different languages isn't always the easiest thing to do, but you know, just naming it Policia doesn't always necessarily mean you're gonna see him speaking Spanish. Like most artists would just use that as a name and just go with it, but to kind of actually embed it in the roots and in the culture is very cool as well. Like that take on like the revolution that is going on outside right now, and the way that kind of embodies like the aggression and just the way that he's able to get across what he feels, and kind of contribute to that like revolution and that what's going on outside, but to also like incorporate this like international flair to it, where he's speaking a lot of like Spanish, and just the future of what he can do when you incorporate like Spanish into your music. It kind of opens up this whole nother door or layer that isn't necessarily tapped by a lot of artists, or can be tapped by a lot of artists. And what I mean by that is like, I don't know, I can't necessarily see Gene Dawson just making a straight up reggaeton song or track, but I can definitely see him incorporating that flair even more so into songs and making it his own. And that is a dangerous track. That is a dangerous piece of music, man. But what I mean by dangerous is fucking fantastic. There's a lot that this guy can do, and I don't think that reggaeton is necessarily too far of a reach for him, especially if he's speaking Spanish from a young age. If I remember correctly from like an interview or something that I've read, just there's a lot of layers to Gene Dawson's story. I would recommend anybody to go check that out because it's well worth a read. There's probably Pigeons and Planes, I think, has done a couple different interviews with him. Please check those out. This is Pixel Bath, one of the best albums of the year. Thank you so much if you're still sticking in, tuning in. Thank you. I do appreciate it. We are moving forward. This is Clear Bones by Gene Dawson. There is a music video for this, so we will be reacting to that. Without further ado, here we are. Clear Bones, Gene Dawson.
For me.
It's so easily like missable or like the understanding to like allow that like riff into this whole different like octave or note or like part of your song that just serves as like, I don't know, just God damn, he's so good at crafting music, man, and I'm excited, man. Again, the future, the discography is so powerful already of Gene Dawson. Just the way it uplifts and just puts it on his back, man.
Heaven's door with the cigarette. No, don't cry, you don't have to cry. Die, it's all black. It's called death.
But he's talking about real stuff too. But the way he packages it with like such a sweet song, it almost catches you off guard. And then when you really like catch that ending where it's like it's called death, you're like, man, I almost need to go back and just double check that I was even paying attention to. I thought this was a happy ass song and we were going through it, but that also is just kind of the perfect metaphor for life, if I do say so myself. Next up is track number 12. That was Clear Bones. Fantastic song, fantastic music video, and we are going to get another music video by the name of Power Freaks. There is a full music video reaction already on my Clips channel. I think I was live streaming one time and we watched this together on stream. Follow this channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to check out future live streams where we check out music and you guys can submit stuff for me to check out live on the air. But Power Freaks was one of those songs. There's a whole reaction, but we're gonna go back into it because it is a part of this album, and it is a great song and a perfect fucking music video. The way that he uses just a U-Haul. Be smart with your stuff, man. That's like, and like there's a shot in like a subway with like a computer monitor on this guy's head, and there's like static, and just the implementation of such simple kind of cost-effective ideas, but just to have the brain to like concoct like a beautiful set or like a proper visual to complement your music. Again, Gene Dawson's the king of this shit, and his team just continues to put out hitters as far as visuals go. This is Power Freaks, Gene Dawson. We're continuing on. This is Pixel Bath, full first listen / reaction. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go.
Times do I have to say?
I remember when I heard this upcoming breakdown and I was like, this is it. This is where it just becomes, it gets to a point where you see someone do just continuously fantastic work that it just becomes like and they're so underground and still independent, and you're just like, all right, when is it? When is the world gonna take notice to Gene Dawson? And it's got to be any minute now, because we're on track number 12 of Pixel Bath already, and Power Freaks is a perfect song in a lot of ways, and it's not even one that I would necessarily point fingers at on this entire project and be like, that's the one you got to listen to first. There's so many standout tracks that this whole album is just so far so good, 10 out of 10, hitting it out of the park, and I already know that Power Freaks is a wonderful song, so I just had to take a breath and just be like, wait a second. What the fuck, man? If Power Freaks ain't the best song on this project, and Power Freaks is nearly a perfect song, then this project is definitely something special. And we're in for a treat, man. And this is just a fucking treat. We're already on the boat, and this is a wonderful trip that we're going through right now. Thank you so much for joining me. Power Freaks, Gene Dawson, official music video. Let's go. And this is that part with the U-Haul and just like that computer monitor that's to his left right now. That my head's blocking, but right above me, right here. Yeah, that thing. That's like a fucking $10 item at a garage sale. A U-Haul is not that expensive per day. And to just think of this right here, to just concoct like all those visuals and all those different scenes, and to like make like lay carpet down in the U-Haul to make it look like a living room, throw the couch up, open the back, drive around. Like, that doesn't really cost that much. And that's a point that I made in that full reaction that I did on the Clips channel. You could go check that out. But I just want to highlight that again. It's just having smart ideas, executing them, and just providing good music with it. It's like a perfect formula, and you're always going to hit, and it's always going to engage the audience, and it's going to keep people wanting more. Best part is you're backing up into the title of the song. So it's just, again, like, it's just so fucking smart, man. It's so simple, but so smart. Gotta stand for the TV even. I like it, man. I like it. Power Freaks really is one of those perfect outings. And for, again, that ought to be like the only standout, or one of many, many standouts. Man. This is a fantastic album, and sadly, we only have one track left. Track number 13. This is Pyrotechnics. It is about 4 minutes and 27 seconds in runtime, so we're in for a good one, I would believe, or at least a doozy, as they say, back in the day when my grandmother was probably growing up. So just shouting out everybody who says doozy. Shout out to those people. Y'all are underrated. Y'all are understated, but You're very much important to our society, so shout out to y'all. And like I said, Pyrotechnics, final track of the night. This is about to be a doozy. Calling it here.
I got the answers, man.
Layering master that Gene Dawson is, with just the way that he layers his beats, his vocals, the whole composition. Again, just masterpiece. Had to shout that out. But it's understated and kind of overlooked sometimes just how inspirational his music is. Like, it really does inspire people. Whether I was pointing out in the previous video that we checked out, which was Power Freaks, you're seeing, like, again, such like cost-effective, somewhat simple, easy to execute ideas, but just he's being the one to execute them, so he gets the credit and he's the smart one, you know what I mean? And that's just kind of the way that the life works, and anyone can do it. It's just about getting up and those thoughts in your head, just making them reality. And if that's the message here, it really comes across in the music. And this song, 52 seconds in, I'm into it, man. I'm into it. And I think that, again, just the inspiration that Gene Dawson, not only through his music, very directly with the lyrics, but just the story that this guy has to tell and what he stands for, I think it's important. It's important to pay attention to, and it does come across in the music. And that's something that I didn't really point out on this album, but it's layered across the entire project. So it's important to kind of point that out.
It is all beautiful.
Damn. That was track number 13. That was Pyrotechnics. I had myself in a little like trance right there. I was just looking down like, what the fuck, man? Like, there was a lot in there. There was a lot to enjoy about that song in particular. And just, that's a perfect song in a lot of ways. And I've said that probably multiple times on this project. I haven't been this impressed with like a full-on debut album, I think he's calling it. Power Freaks, or Bad Sports, I mean, is equally as interesting as a project, but the way that this formulates on first listen, it's a lot to take in. I'm definitely going to be listening to this a lot more before I just call this my favorite project of the year. But that's kind of the point that we're at right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite the feat. Gene Dawson. Ever since that Don't Sleep, I've been saying, man, this guy is somebody to watch. This guy is somebody to look out for, and to see a project formulate in the way that he just put forth with Pixel Bath, I don't know what more you and I could ask for as an audience member, but to know that this is only the beginning of a long, fruitful career, I hope. There's not much more that I could get excited for, and he's earned pretty much all the goodwill for the future with this project alone. But if this is your first time checking out Gene Dawson, please go back, listen to Bad Sports, watch all the music videos, just indulge and just keep an eye out, follow him on all the social media at Gene Dawson, and I swear to you, we're in for a great ride, and it's going to pay off tenfold, even more so than, I don't know what more we could possibly be asking for after listening to an album like that, but we're in store for a great ride, and I'm, again, just excited. That's a masterclass performance. This is a masterclass project, and this is a special time that we're living in this music industry, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for like the collaborations that could come out of this, like him and Kenny Hoopla. The whole time I was just thinking him and Kenny Hoopla would be one of the coolest collabs that we could ask for. Like him with like Lil Darky on a track. Like, I don't know what the fuck that sounds like. I don't know what that means. And Gene Dawson seems very specific with who he works with. So even if it's just him, which for the most part, I would say 90% at least of this project is just him. We don't know if there are some additional vocals going on, but we do know that A$AP Rocky and him did finally collab on this project, which is alone worth your ticket of admission. But support Gene Dawson. This is only the beginning, and this is some special shit. If this is your first time checking out the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitter at YoGRRT, YOGRTT, Instagram as well, Now in Rotation on those two platforms as well. Take care of yourselves. I hope I earned your subscription today. I really do appreciate it. Like the video if you did enjoy it, dislike it. If you're here at this point, this is the long one. I really do appreciate you. All these videos will be found on the Clips channel in shorter form, easier digestions, just individual song reactions and track reviews. Please go ahead and subscribe to the Clips channel. Thank you again. Take care of yourselves. And that is all, you beautiful folks.